Didymus has entered within the Barrow Hill, and now ascends the steps into the entry chamber. By the crackling light of his torch, he sees the walls are age-worn and encrusted with mold. He looks over the circular chamber for any sign of a way through. Nearby is a large anvil. It is rusted in areas. Atop the anvil is a sword bent nearly to the point of breaking in half, as well as an old set of smith's tools. Didymus searches the chamber for any hidden clues. He finds a faded carving upon the wall that features a stoic warrior. The warrior's sheath is fashioned with an actual slot, and Didymus deduces that if he can sheathe the sword, a secret door will open. However, in its current state, the sword will not go in. The sorcerer knows nothing of smithing, though he does have a few magic scrolls on him, including one of the spell Mending. The sword returns to good repair. Didymus sheathes it within the scabbard of the carven warrior. A slab of stone sinks, revealing a tunnel ahead, and at the same time, a second slab seals shut the entrance stairway. Didymus moves through the passageway and just into the new chamber. Ahead to his left-hand side is a shut stone door, and at the end of the room are 3 big alcoves, each with a pedestal bearing an unlit candle. The candles are green, orange, and white, respectively. The sorcerer moves closer and sees that the door has no lock nor handle. He inspects it. The door is sealed shut with no apparent means of opening it. Otherwise, he finds nothing of note. The candles are good-sized, and they have a bit of dried melted wax running down their sides, and they are of equal heights. The mage ponders over what he has learnt from his witch aunt Epista. He recalls nothing about candle magic. Didymus figures lighting a candle must be the way to proceed. He produces his flint and steel and selects a random candle, the white one. A tongue of flame leaps up from the candle. The next instant, a series of spectral sigils surround Didymus. The sorcerer feels his body rendered paralyzed within the spiritual sigils. He struggles to break free. Through his struggling against the magical force, he exhausts himself. But the ordeal is not through. He feels the candle drawing his very soul towards its ghostly flame, seeking to trap him within. At the final moment, before his fate is sealed, the sorcerer fights his way from out of the soul prison. He gasps, blows the candle out, then reels back in a fright. Didymus regains control of himself, but the fatigue of the strange trap has set in. He decides it best not to tamper with the white candle. Thoughts of retreating from this dungeon cross his mind. The thought of his lover, Cambria, trapped within this barrow, is all that keeps him going. Again, he selects a candle at random from the other 2. He lights the green candle. which burns with an emerald flame. This time, instead of the sigils surrounding him, they appear on the floor in the center of the chamber. The runework pulses, then spews out a strange little creature that appears to be composed of dust and ash. The creature flies to the other side of the chamber, then casts out a haze of ash that makes Didymus feel drowsy. The sorcerer is overwhelmed and falls unconscious. In his dream, he sees Cambria, with her rosy cheeks and heart-shaped lips. How deeply he longs to feel her embrace once again. Then she runs inside of a cottage and begins to scream. After her screams comes a series of blood-curdling howls and snarls. Didymus dashes over to aid her, but when he flings open the cottage door, he is met by a ghostly flare. He realizes in his unconscious state that the dust mephit has relit the white candle. The spectral sigils bind him, and his body seizes up. He then fights off the exhausting force. The last of the candle's magic places a sort of block in Didymus's mind, preventing him from finding rest. Pain breaks the sorcerer from the magical slumber. The dust creature is over him with its claws, eager to slash yet again. He glimpses the white flame dancing atop the candle and fears it will assault his spirit once more. With a quick word of magic, the candle snuffs out. Didymus stands, circles to the other side of the dust monster, and steals his nerves. The creature opens its mouth and exhales a cloud of dust. Didymus shields his eyes from the grit just in time. He then yells, calling up a great hand from the earth. The massive hand of earth and rock takes hold of the dust imp and squeezes. The little creature yelps in pain. It looks desperate, and in a panic, tries to pry its way free. Didymus makes the grasping gesture, and the hand squeezes. Though the creature holds back the worst of the grasp, it is getting rather worn down. It flails about with all the might in its small body, trying to free itself. The sorcerer scowls, burning with fury, and makes again the grasping motion. The magic-infused hand crushes the dust mephit. The thing's body explodes in a gritty cloud. Didymus endures the dust cloud and wipes clean his eyes. He is sorely tempted to command the hand to crush the white candle, but he worries over triggering another assault. He decides it best to spend his energy on recovering from his wound. Raising his crystalline dagger, the mage chants a prayer for divine convalescence. Loathing to delay a moment more, Didymus lights the orange candle, then braces for the worst. A golden orange flame springs to life, and the stone door swings open. In the center of the next chamber is a pedestal that bears the bust of some ancient elven queen. At the other end of the room are two open exits with stairs leading down. As Didymus goes to search the bust and pedestal, a voice issues from it.
"Halt there, intruder! Why have you come to this place?" "I am seeking my lost love. She has haunted my dreams since she disappeared a few years ago. And now I know she is imprisoned within this barrow. Tell me she's still alive. What do you know of Cambria?" "Yes, she is still alive. There you see two exits. One will lead you to your dear, the other to your doom. Don't even think of asking me which is which. I am not here to hold your hand. I am not even here at all. I am just a statue. But I will tell you this. One of my hands used to have 6 fingers."
Didymus ponders the words of the elven queen. He tries to recall who she was. He cannot remember ever learning about any elven queen with 6 fingers on one hand. Is this some sort of trick?
"Life is a trick. The gods play it upon the mortals. The secret is to be in on the joke."
The line seems vaguely familiar to the sorcerer.
"Listen here, Rockbrain. I have no wish for your riddles. This place has me on edge. Do you have any idea what it's like being nearly soul-trapped inside of a candle?"
I suppose you might have an idea.
"If this Forlorn Barrow is too dire for you, turn tail and run away, for you are not worthy."
How about I smash you to pieces here on the floor?
"Please do. This place is dreadfully boring."
Didymus takes hold of the bust statue. Instead of hurling it to the floor, he carries it over to the left-hand exit.
"Ready to go down there?" "No, no, no!"
screams the statue of the elven queen.
"Oh, what was that now? Why wouldn't you want to go down these stairs?" "You are very clever."
Satisfied, Didymus replaces the statue onto its pedestal and heads for the right-hand exit. As he steps onto the stairs, he swears he hears a slight giggle from the statue. A lantern hangs from the dome of the deep chamber's ceiling, shedding a scarlet light over the area. Shadowy cells are recessed into the walls at intervals.
"Cambria, are you here?"
He sees someone moving inside one of the cells. When he takes a step closer, a horrific monstrosity comes skittering out. The thing has trembling, lanky limbs and a gigantic mouth filled with sharp teeth. The sorcerer is shocked. The fiendish thing falls upon him with ravenous bites. Didymus evades the snapping maw. He knows he must act with certainty against this terrible foe. From the ground, he calls up his mighty elemental hand. The monster holds off the stony grasp. It howls a terrible howl and bites. It chews at Didymus's studded leather armor, nearly tearing into his flesh. The earth hand again attempts to grab it. It squeals in pain, as it is constricted. Careless of the elemental grasp that surrounds it, the fiend struggles to bite at Didymus. Again, it gets only a mouthful of armor. The sorcerer controls the great hand once more. In pain, the thing now strains to break free. It rips itself out of the grasp and stumbles round to the other side of the sorcerer, trying to get away from the reach of the hand. Didymus gives the creature no quarter and commands the hand once again. This time, fueling it with his font of raw arcane power. Again, the horror is grasped by the hand and squeezed painfully. It gasps and gurgles, trying to get out. This time, it flees. Didymus seizes the opportunity and strikes with his crystal dagger. He stabs only the air. The creature goes tottering up the stairs. The sorcerer follows in pursuit. He tries to recall what he knows about creatures such as this one. He knows that this is some sort of demon. Given what he observes, he guesses that the creature is unharmed by poison and resistant against cold, fire, and lightning attacks. He charges elemental chaos into his crystal dagger and projects it at the demon. The crackling ray of chaotic energy rends the fiend's mind. It shrieks, and when it does so, its voice is not that of a monster, but a woman. Before his very eyes, Didymus sees the monster transform into none other than his beloved Cambria, his elven lover with rosy cheeks, autumn gold hair, and heart-shaped lips. Now, she lies bruised and grime-ridden on the floor. Didymus cannot believe his eyes. He shouts at the sight of his fallen love. He cries to the gods to let her yet live. A warm glow radiates from the divine soul's hands over the racked body of Cambria. A moment later, she gasps and opens her eyes.
Didymus, is that you? It is me, my dear one. I'm here. My head, it hurts so badly.
Once again, he channels healing magic into Cambria, soothing her wounds.
I found you, my love. I found you. I had a terrible nightmare. I dreamt that a warlock cursed me and turned me into a monster. He said I would return to being a woman only once my lover slew me. The last thing I remember was running away into the forest. The nightmare's over now. We'll get you back home soon.
Didymus is overjoyed at being reunited with his beloved, though his heart is troubled as to who this grim warlock might be and what designs did he have for Cambria.